Hello there Simmers, welcome back to my channel. It's Joy's Creative Finger, and today I've put together a house using most of the items from the country homestead event that we've just completed for November 2016. Let's go ahead and have a look. Straight away you'd notice that the windows are not actually the windows that we received. They are actually doors, and that's for the upstairs part where those plants are. I wanted a longer version of windows and we didn't get that. As you can see in the center part of the house there are shorter versions, so I used the doors in place of windows, so that's for make-believe. Also in Sims 4 you have a chance to place creeping plants up the body of a building, but in Sims Free Play you have to get creative about how you put plants on the body of a building. And this is what I was able to put together here, just by placing balconies here and there and placing those plants inside to give the body of the building some kind of warmth with greenery. Now I wanted continuity with the color of the exterior walls, the balcony and the paving for the pool, and so I used these brown rugs to layer around the pool area for an illusion of brown concrete slabs. And you might notice that I've used the DIY mansion template so I could secure these special patio paving and balcony paving to give it all one uniform color, as you can see here. It's a lot more realistic to me anyway as a complete build. Now the bay windows that I created in front using these doors required that I had to glitch them in so I can actually place pots and plants around it and address a drawer on the inside as well. But the plants here were placed as usual. Now let me tell you a little bit about Lima, who owns this property. She's here with a lovely gentleman who has not always been in her life. She did have a darker side to her experiences about 14 years ago. She was dancing in a club and had this lovely gentleman by the name of Keegan who came up behind her, got to chatting, got to dancing a little bit more, and then he obviously, took her away from the crowd. They sat down, had a few drinks, and talked a little bit about themselves. It became evident to them anyway that they would like to spend a little bit more time in each other's company. Keegan obviously took it upon himself to take her out on really nice formal dates. He was very chivalrous, he was very classy, very charming, and he was basically your textbook version of a date, of a partner, of a friend, of a lover, or anything that you would like to call it. Now he would even come to her workplace as well, unannounced, and just show up with an offer to drive her home to her residence. And these were the sort of things that really appealed to Lima, and it's something she took to heart. Now as the days went on, she went on a lovely holiday away with him, and they spent a good week away on an island. Now after this period she discovered she was pregnant, and when he was aware of this fact he immediately pledged to marry her, and they got married immediately. Now she did have this baby, a baby girl called Nadia, but it was obvious to her that he was not interested in the baby side of the relationship. He would sleep away the nights, he wouldn't do any diapers, he wouldn't do any weight keeping with the baby. It was all her business and none of his. This really bothered her a lot, and at times when the crying was too much he would just get out of the room. He was a bit aggressive verbally, and he would just go downstairs and fall asleep in front of the telly. Now she would come out, call out to him, and he would completely ignore her. I mean, he became completely irrational about the fact that there was a child, as though he was not responsible for it. He was just a big kid and would not pay attention to the fact that he had to be a responsible team player. Now they would have a lot of arguments in the morning in front of the little girl. It would be very verbal, very draining, and she would go to work exhausted after nights of looking after the child. But one morning, unfortunately, he really took out his aggression on her. He assaulted her, and like any good woman knows, she did not stand for it. She walked away. Immediately, she wasn't going to let that happen again. She decided to leave Keegan and all his wealth and everything that made her stick around for as long as she did. She took her baby and she left that situation. She obviously had to work really hard to pull her life together because she did have a young dependent, and so 14 years later she was able to DIY a fabulous home from the ground up with the help of a new friend, Lucas, who has shown himself to be a man and not afraid of commitment and being a team player, where real work is concerned. He's also been a great father type figure in the life of her 14-year-old daughter, Nadia. As you come in the front door, I've decided to place 2 mats down on the outside and on the inside for cleaning your feet. They're welcome mats. They lead into a large hallway with a lovely plant, a mirror and a floor lamp. There's an archway that leads into the dining section and another one into the living room. But before you get there, you have a set of doors that lead into the bathroom. And it's also a guest bathroom for the guest room that you see on the corner over here. That guest room, as you can see, leads out into the living room, and then the archway leads back out to the dining room that you see here. I've set the dining area out in this fashion with the units that have the cups and the glasses and the plates. I thought it was pretty. And out of the options for the country homestead floorings, I opted for the dream homestead flooring for the entire space. Now, this dining section has its kitchen in the same place as well. I decided to place it on the side of the wall here, as you can see, with 2 extractor fans above the cooker oven and the microwave oven as well. And then in the corner here, it's meant to be a kitchen that leads into an L shape into that angle. We can't do that in Sims FreePlay, so I've had to place it around in this fashion. I absolutely love this piece here that is meant to be a sink, but the thing is, it doesn't work at all. It doesn't do anything, but it's beautiful, and I set it out in that corner as a laundry type of room area, or perhaps where you wash the dishes, and the fridge in the corner there works well together. At least I think so. When we come through this archway, you have this beautiful living room. I've placed this dresser drawer, which I think is absolutely beautiful, as one of the pieces that we got from this event. I placed it back there. We have the fireplace that's got the black and white accents and the pieces of wood that match the country homestead flooring, and the black and white match the rest of the kitchen items, as you can see. And the television as well is quite lovely, placed in an angle that I felt worked for the seating arrangement. So in some way there are, say, 2 focal points for this living room, the fireplace and the television as well. And then we have a little computer on the side and a bookshelf on the wall. These doors lead out to the pool area and a reclining structure by the pool. Nadia has a swing set out here from when she was a preteen, and the trampoline unit you see there, and that's generally what we have outside. Now, as you know, the staircase leads up to the living quarters for Nadia and her mother, but before we go up, here's one last look at the overview for the ground floor. I feel that the purple curved couches pop really nicely in the whole black and white situation that we've got down here. Anyway, now once we go up, we're going to come up to the lovely bay windows on the landing above the entrance to the house. I've placed this dresser unit in that corner. I didn't put a door against it, so you can just drop a unit in that way, and then I put some decorative items on top of it as well. There is a door that leads out onto the balcony in the front of the house here, and Nadia also has an entrance from her room out onto that balcony too, as you can see. And then besides the balcony further back, we have a corridor that leads to the mother's room and to Nadia's room. So this is a real access from within the house. This is Nadia's room. She seems very comfortable in here. She has a double bed, some beautiful pictures on the wall. She has an interest in ballet, as most little girls do, and I particularly like the wardrobe, the Neo-Tokyo wardrobe, I think it is, in the corner here. The unit is quite lovely. It's got beautiful pictures on it, and she has a lovely bay window too, and I placed a dresser drawer in there for her to keep personal items. The pink table lamp comes from the teen collection, so if you look in there you should be able to find it. She has an ensuite to herself in this room, and here it is. The option for the flooring again is one of the country homestead options, and I think that the spa items work well with that flooring. Now when we come back out this corridor, as we came up the stairs, the first door leads to the master room, and that's Lima's bedroom. I think it's a beautiful bedroom, and she's got this pretty vanity unit against these bright view windows. So you can imagine what it would look like for her when she was getting dressed in the morning. She would have a beautiful view of the flowers and the outside, and proper sunlight to get her makeup done in properly. Now I've got some closet spaces here as well. I thought that putting these doors against those closets made it look really soft, and the dots on the wall, the feature wall by the bed, match the door handles as well. Now these windows by the bed again are not windows, they are doors, and then behind them are actual windows. If I just get Nadia to come round, you'd be able to see the access from this bedroom into the master ensuite. Now as you can see, she comes round, she comes through these doors and round into the master ensuite unit here. I went for this option of access so I don't have doors everywhere while I'm in gameplay. It's not very tidy, especially when you think that you've put together something pretty. In Sims 4, when you go into gameplay, the doors actually disappear unless you specifically, put the walls up. But in Sims FreePlay, when you place the doors everywhere at every angle, it just covers up everything and becomes very cluttered. The other thing I wanted to point out is the idea of the feature wall, as you can see here. It's something I've started doing a lot in some of my builds, so the room isn't just a square. There you have it. Let me know in the comments what you think about my version of a country homestead home. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your comments, and yes, I've got 5,000 subs. I am completely excited about this. You guys are the best. Thanks again. Have a lovely day.